So yo, happy new year. Happy new year. My name is Lionel TJ Tillman. I am the author of How I Stopped Child Support Legally. This is the How I Stopped Child Support. This is Child Support Fraud Show. Here with my guy.
What's up? What's up? Happy New Year to everybody. It's your guy T Mac, One Credit Guy. We in the building. And yes, this is episode 6.
Six, yes, episode
Yes,
6.
sir.
It's
6.
episode 6.
Top of the new year. We got a surprise for y'all.
For those that know, like, this is the second time we've done this. Of course, we need to start communicating more before the actual show because we're looking like the tangible equity twins. This is our second time doing this. We're in the exact same thing.
Yeah,
but, hey, great minds think alike.
Think alike.
We've been best buddies since junior high school. So it's like, we think alike. We're on the same wavelength. But enough of that. We have a very special guest.
Yes.
Very, very special guest. It's an honor. I'm going to even jump out on a ledge and say an icon. He's a living, walking legend.
Yes.
If you are audience, you grew up. I'm just going. The man is the accolades speak for itself, and it's an honor to have you, my guy. I'm just toss it over to you, Mr. Darius McCrary. How you doing, sir?
Yes, man. Sir.
I'm blessed by the best and praying for all the rest because we really need it.
Man, I love it.
And I am honored to be here, man. It's an honor to sit in the presence of young kings that are doing some unimaginable work to change things. And that's what we got to do, man. We got to start reaching into the unimaginable.
That's a fact.
And make it the tangible. Because all of this stuff that we're looking at, it really is unfathomable. When you really break this stuff down, what's going on and what's happening. I mean, then when you look at how this country is always in somebody else's business.
True.
Always
Facts.
over the pond.
True.
Always over the Himalayas. Always in somebody else's business. When there is war, when there has been war, when us as a people, not just black people, mainly black people, but not just black people, have been under attack. The American population, the American society is under attack, and we don't even know it.
And research shows, study shows, and just the history shows, it all at the end of the road, there's always money at the end of the road.
Oh, you better follow the money.
When you follow the money.
Follow the money. You will find it. That's all it is. We have been sold out for decades. I mean, I even dare to say for about a century now, we've been sold out. The American people have been sold out.
Of course.
I mean, when you come here and your parents give you that social security number, that's the first selling that goes down. People don't even understand that. And I fought tooth and nail with my children's mothers to not have our children have the social security card. But when you don't know the process, you don't know what to do, you do what you've been taught to do. Programmed.
The crazy part is about
keyword programmed.
I sat right here in this very seat and said, had I known what I know today, I would not have signed my children's birth certificate. I wouldn't have signed no marriage license.
None of it.
No social security.
None of it.
And to this day, and that was maybe 4 to 5 months ago, to this day, it's still ringing bells that people don't understand.
No, let's just jump into it.
Since might as well jump into it.
Listen,
might as well jump right into
this
it.
Can of worms, okay?
All right,
Mr. Tillman.
Might as well.
So that process was something that was created centuries ago, and as you guys know, the woman's job was to report back to the higher ups who at the time were in Boston, which is if you don't know, the richest state in the union. That's where the money really is. Boston. Hey Trey. But their job was to report back to Boston, and Maine and all that area and everything that was being developed. I think it was before they stole New York for beads. But their job was to report everything that was happening while the settlers were moving out west, trying to figure things out.
Okay.
So this whole process of a woman being pumped up by the law, being supported by an authoritative figure, is something that comes from way back. She would report how if he was drinking too much. She would report if he was if he wasn't spending the money, the allowance that they were given properly. She would report. I mean, that's what it was. So now when you have this lawyer that says, "What did he do to you?" We're going to fix this, and because you're going to have your day in court.
And they're even coercing them, even giving them things to say, force feeding them.
Force feeding them, exactly. So this was something that was done many years ago. And the woman, to this day, the American woman, still plays this role. And the laws that support her are ancient. And it's something that never really, how could I say this, and be politically correct, there was never any intent to build the family. It was, the intent was to build this nation. They give a fuck about the family.
Of course.
Right.
So
Facts.
speaking of roles, we was just talking before we got on camera, and you were saying something about people not letting you grow up, meaning, so.
Well, first off,
but before we, what I want to just say is, like, for the audience, most people have seen you grow up. They grew up with you, watching you on television, on various shows. How, would you just briefly let them know who Darius McCrary is? Because most people, we just go the elephant in. Most people know, hey, that's Eddie Winslow. Now, just because even for me, when people the news broke, 2 or 3 weeks ago, everybody was sending DM and sending me the headline, yo, help Eddie. I'm like, that's not his name. Like, they just won't let you grow up.
And let me say this, I don't have a problem with it. Y'all can call me Eddie to the day I die, because I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in Supermax in LA County Jail, guess who the deputies knew? Eddie.
Eddie.
And a lot of those guys, God bless you guys. I understand your job is really tough. LA County is overcrowded. It's about 20,000 inmates. And they're all receiving a lot of improper treatment. Some of them deserve what they're getting. But, for me to be in LA County Jail waiting for extradition to Michigan for child support, and to be in jail with someone who's doing 166 consecutive 8-month sentence. Wow. My neighbor had attempted murder, 211, Grand Theft Auto. Great guy, by the way. But what was I doing in Supermax? Well, they said that they had to protect me, so they put me in Supermax to keep me from general population.
Right.
But in all honesty, wasn't nobody finna do nothing to me. Man, I'm America's big brother.
Right.
So back to what you were saying, as far as, and I'm not saying that cocky. I'm saying that where I've had people invite me into their homes, like when they see me outside in their neighborhood visiting my family, because they want me to come into their home.
Right.
Because I've come into their home
all of
for
our lives,
decades.
right.
I'm America's big brother. Like, and I've had people come to me and say, hey man, I learned to speak English watching you. I'm America's big brother.
Wow.
I've had people come to me and say, hey, I was forming some bad opinions about Black people, and I found that show, and man, it changed my life. Thank you for being a big brother to me. I mean, this is bigger than a black thing or
Of
a
course.
white thing. I feel like the system it discriminates against men first.
Mm-hmm.
Then after it discriminates based on your gender, if you're a man, you're fucked. Then it discriminates color by color.
True.
So for me, I was grateful that this actually happened because now, you know, maybe people will consider the fact that I have children too.
Okay.
You know, I
Yeah.
do a lot of business and I hear people talk about how they have to feed their families and how they have to look out for their families and I'll kill for my family and this and that. And, you know, I gotta make some money. I'm like, okay, so your kids any more important than my kids?
Right.
Your kids,
Right.
your kids need to eat before my kids?
Mm.
Because even if y'all came to my house for a barbecue, kids eat first.
Right. Women get to play. Then
Women get to play, kids eat first.
Yeah.
But I'm so cool. I'm not finna be like, hey man, this is my house and my kids eat first.
Mm.
You
Right.
guess
Right.
your kids
My
can get in the
kid-
front of the line and y'all go ahead. Mine's is gonna get there. They
Real
good.
talk. Real
Right.
talk.
Right.
But it seems like in today's world, we are so selfish, so divided, so inconsiderate to the point where we don't even share a goddamn smile, which
Mm.
costs you nothing. In fact, it takes more effort and more muscular control to frown than the smile.
Right.
We can't even give
Right.
somebody a
smile.
fucking smile.
America.
America?
And that's bad. Now, so let me ask you this. So you say you were in Supermax for child support.
Yes.
Now, we hold these master classes, and everyone in a master class know it is actually unlawful
Yes.
for a person to be incarcerated
Yes.
for child support.
Yes. Oh, sidebar. I'm looking for a great lawyer because I have a serious unlawful detainer, unlawful detainment case.
I mean, I was going to say that.
Yeah, because
I just want to know what was the reason? That was the reason that they put on paper? I just.
so I'm
the
gonna
reason why.
toss it to you.
Okay, reason why I'm saying it because.
what happened?
So I don't want to give up
Not
too much
Yeah,
of
yeah,
this
because there's still
we-
an ongoing case, right?
It's an ongoing case. This case has been open now for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. I had my son the first 7 years of his life.
Okay.
I taught him to walk. I taught him to write, to read. He was 5 years old reading at a high school freshman level in the upper extreme genius level is what they call it. So I received no help. My son was going to Montessori school, which cost. I received a lot. I received no help.
Mm.
None. Everybody was concerned with appearances and how it looked that she didn't have him. Well, if that's what you were concerned about, you should have thought about what it looked like when you didn't have your daughter, his older sister, who, I'm not saying anything negative about you, Ali, if you see this. I'm sending you love, sweetie. But the fact of the matter is, her grandparents raised her. And so nobody was concerned about that. It's just is so amazing to me that she has three different fathers for three different children, three different sets of children.
Okay.
And I'm not knocking her because I have
Same.
her as a baby mama, and then I have my ex-wife who is just an amazing woman. I just want to commend you, Tammy, for what you're doing with Zoe, and how we're co-parenting, and I truly love you. I just want you to know that.
That's honorable.
Yeah.
That's honorable.
And then I have another mother, Ashley, who's a wonderful mother as well. But so I'm not condemning her or shaming her. you know, you could do what you want to with your parts. That's your sausage wallet.
Right.
You do what you want to with it.
Sausage wallet.
Yeah, yeah.
Elaborate. What does that mean?
Well, you take sausage deposits and it
Bingo.
it spits
Yeah,
out out cash.
Okay.
It dispenses cash.
There it is.
Sausage turns into cash.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey.
It's one way to make it rain, right?
So there he is. It's like I said, if he hit the intro, man, it's an honor to have you here, right? It really is.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
I want to say that to America, right? Like, I know you see what we call this show is child support fraud, and the reason why we came up with that is because our experience through the system, right?
Mhm.
Me and my guy, and sometimes we feel like, well, maybe it's just only me. Right? Maybe I'm the only person going through this. Wait, okay, my brother's going through this. Okay, well, we regular folks. We would be common folk, right?
Mhm.
We going through this hardship, we going through whatever we're going through. And not knowing that people like yourself go through the same thing that we went through with this system, with the same system. Because reason why I'm saying about this particular system is because this system doesn't discriminate. This system is built on prima facie,
Mhm.
first come, first serve.
Mhm.
It's not built off of honor
No.
and morality.
Not at all.
No.
So
No way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
In fact, it's so despicable. It's so downright. I mean, it's unethical, immoral. I mean, the lies that are told, the way that they promise you things, and especially in Michigan. Let me tell you something. I am brainwashed. Guess what, guys? Michigan law overrules US law. And I think
Wait, say that again.
Michigan law overrules US law.
How is that? How so?
Because that's all they talk about in Michigan is Michigan law says. Michigan law.
Oh, okay.
Michigan law.
No.
So
I'm
Michigan
glad you
law
said that.
overrules.
So, in Michigan, yes.
No. It's greater. They're great. In fact, I think that some people maybe on Capitol Hill or some people in the Supreme Court need to dig into what Michigan is doing.
Mm.
I think that is apropos at this point in time because the word on the streets, from what I heard, is Michigan said, y'all ain't shit. They run this.
They run this. But we all know that there's something called the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution that says that no state can come up with their own state law or state statute that conflicts with the United States Constitution and federal law and the Supreme Court ruling.
Is that really?
Which is the supreme law of the land.
Whoa. Hey. Say word.
You know, hey, you know.
Man.
Hey, we not attorneys up here, you
right.
know. Like,
We're not attorneys.
This is for educational purposes only.
Educational purposes
So
only.
if you in Michigan and they bullying you like that, then I suggest you look at
okay,
it.
so
Supreme Law.
you mentioned Michigan, but you
Yes.
say you were in Supermax here in LA County, so it's an interstate.
So what had happened was,
Mm.
and by the way, let me rewind. So pretty much my whole life, I refuse to acknowledge the terms and conditions that come with greatness. I'm not gonna say I didn't acknowledge them. I accepted them.
Okay.
But then I would try to bend them. I would be like, you know what? I want everybody to feel special. So it's cool. I'm buying everybody gets a trophy.
Okay.
Right.
I'm changing that. I'm stepping back into who I know I have to be. Because if I'm not him, I can't help change things.
No.
I can't help if I'm not him. So I apologize if one day, you know, somebody feels a certain type of way by something that I say or an action that enforces my boundaries so that I can have the energy, the wherewithal, and the frame of mind to move mountains. Because low key, to be in the entertainment industry, you are materializing the impossible. You just doing a scene when you're acting like you have a plate and you're acting, and are you sitting here drinking? Are we talking? And I'm imagining. It takes the imagination to a whole nother place. So much to uh, the point that you believe that you've seen it. You start to believe that I'm your big brother. You start to believe that you are part of the Winslow family. Them's your peoples. Because it's that good. It's that good.
Wow.
And I treat every job that I do the same way. I give my
Give it your
everything.
Yeah.
I play Gerald Levert. I'm gaining weight to be Gerald Levert. I play Muhammad Ali, even on 5 Shades Darker. You can't call me Darius. I'm Ali. I play James Brown, even though I'm a foot taller. You call me Mr. Brown. I take what I do.
This.
I'm living this. So I'm sacrificing major sacrifices to bring joy, to bring those emotions, and to bring that happiness. So my point is that the entertainment industry is not for the faint of heart. And I've been in it for 40 years. I've been doing this. I've been told
40 years.
no more than I've been told yes. I've had my self-esteem challenged. I've created a type that was ignored because, let's just be real, you know, we don't age Brad Pitt. We don't age we don't age Jack Nicholson.
No.
We don't age Leonardo DiCaprio.
At all.
We don't farm out Ben Affleck. We don't farm out Tom Cruise. Mr. Cruise. We don't do that. But let's be for real. With black actors, unfortunately, what happens is there's a model or a type created. And then when that model starts to become worth something, when they don't want to pay that particular model what it's proven
and what it's actually worth,
and the proclamated value, okay, the proclaimed, and it's been, I mean, it's there for you to see, especially when you working, right? Then what they do is they just go create another model.
Go to the
you know, that's what they do. And now you see 4 or 5 guys, you know, look like Darius. Some of them in the show might even be named Darius when they get casted for it.
So let me ask you this:
Facts.
the fact that the headlines was everywhere. 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
So
I was trending with Matthew Perry's funeral. Rest in peace, Matt.
To the point to where my mother contacted me and said, "Hey, you seen the?" I couldn't get away from it.
Wow.
And here we are, like.
And I appreciate you, man, for answering the call. It was really heavy, and I have been working with some people, you know, but I was introduced to you, and what you do, because everybody hit me like, yo, you need to get Reg, like you need to get with child support as a fraud. You need to get with him,
man. And my thing is, like, how now that you're in this position, this is the headlines. Of course, that's not it. They try to paint it, make it a negative thing.
Always.
Like, how are you taking your situation and using your platform to shed light on the negative things that Michigan and Los Angeles and all the states like Michigan and Los Angeles like that are doing to men like you, him, me?
So let me back up a little bit. I was to add to what I was saying when I was saying about me accepting the terms and conditions that come with greatness. I was giving a friend a ride to work. A friend of mine called me and asked me for a ride to work. My homeboy. And he's really always there for me. And I mean, so much to the point where I was really actually going to be like, dude, just take the car and go. It's cool. Man, you want me to call you Uber? Like, I mean, it's cool. I'm like, bro, I'm not an Uber.
Right.
But he had this new gig and he wanted me to come through and, you know, schmooze, you know, 60 5% of our business and show business is social. You know, I mean, you show up at a party, somebody sees you, they're like, oh my God, you look amazing. Wow. I have this. And the next thing you know, you get a call next week
Right.
from somebody because they got a project because they saw you looking like a superhero.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, man, sure. I'm gonna give you a ride to work. And I got pulled over for tinted windows. And there was a no bail felony warrant.
And I've seen that mainly back east.
Right.
That they use these as felonies.
Right.
But yeah.
I mean, and I call it the night that could have changed everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit aggressive with the officers when they pulled me over, because of the fact that they pulled me over on a 2-lane highway. And so for their safety and for my own safety, I was trying to move into an area that had more space.
Okay.
And I just feel like if you're gonna be scary, you don't need to be a police officer.
Facts.
Go do something else, man.
Facts.
Go become a veterinarian. Go fucking work with kids or some shit. If you're gonna be a bitch, you don't need to be a police officer. And when I say bitch, I'm definitely not referring to you female officers, because a lot of you got more heart than some of these punks. Okay, that's walking around wearing a badge. And I'm just saying that I know that there was a lot that was said there, but that comes from a very honest, authentic place of passion. Because there are so many lives that have been taken because of fear.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it on camera where the officer pulls over someone or stops someone, and their hand is
shaking.
Shaking is like, why do you even?
Dude, you can't hold that steel.
We've seen it.
You can't hold that steel, dude. You're supposed to be protecting the community.
We've seen it many times.
Right. So that night I said, because I was in Redondo Beach. Redondo, where I live, has a reputation. Their police force has a reputation for being racist, for profiling. And that night I was profiled by an officer named Officer Patel. Hey, buddy. We're coming back to that too, Patel. So I was profiled that night, and I had said, you know, hey man, like relax. You know, brothers is out here getting killed, man. Like, you know, like it's all good. Like,
just chill out.
Like, man, take it easy. And they didn't like that. And I know truth hurts. So they asked me to produce my license, and when I produced the license, it was a no bail felony warrant. And they ended up booking me. I went to county. I waited here longer than I was supposed to. LA County was supposed to release me, but they didn't.
We just had a friend out.
He
just went through that.
Yeah. And I was extradited to Michigan. And let me tell you something, man. I felt on several occasions, no matter how much I've done by giving joy, the years I've contributed, I have felt at times that I was not a member of this country. I felt like I wasn't a part of American society.
Culture.
I felt like I wasn't
part of the culture.
I felt like I felt like I was not a citizen at times. There have been times when I felt this way.
That system, it makes you feel like, and that's the way it was designed. It's literally designed for you not to make you feel that you are not a citizen.
But let me tell you something. This one here, to be extradited for what I was extradited for, and I could tell that the people who in the FOC, friend of the court, is with the FOC. FOC equal MOB to me. But anyway, I don't mean that in any way, shape, or fashion disrespectful towards you good people of Michigan, FOC, because Michigan law overrules US law.
Michigan law overrules the Supreme Court.
It does. Okay. That's what I believe. That's what they've made me believe. It's my truth. Yeah. So you know, the FOC, they were they got right on and they actually dismissed this warrant. They dismissed it. I mean, they knew that this warrant was, they knew, and I could tell. But then it's so funny. They said to me, and I don't want to say too much. Like I said,
but because the question got, I said, "Oh no, I can't even ask." That,
yeah,
so
but
I'm not gonna do
they
that.
said to me though, they were like, "Is everybody clear? We're clear." They said, "I don't think you would want to say anything else, Mr. McCrary, because you don't want to bring anything else up that may be in question." So I said, "Yeah, God bless you. Bye." I was on Zoom.
Right.
I'm out.
I got off.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
tinted windows, and now
Traffic
you're
infraction, allegedly, in California, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's an infraction.
And now
It's not
you
North Carolina.
extradited
Right.
to Michigan for a felony
Yeah.
for child support arrears.
For a child that I cared for, which she was getting paid for. She was receiving child support when he was in my custody. And nobody's doing anything about that. We no, ain't nobody going back to make her serve no time.
So you
Yeah.
was the primary parent,
Yes.
and you were still paying child support to a woman in a whole nother state.
She was collecting, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna toss.
I mean, that's interstate
He specifically dealt with interstate child support.
Child
and
support.
What we found, 2 states can't have jurisdiction.
Yeah. Who got yours?
LA should have had jurisdiction because he was living in Los Angeles. But hey, Michigan law overrules everybody. Michigan law rules where you are.
I mean, I would go in.
Michigan law is the supreme law of the land.
It's the
And that's
supreme
what-
law of the land.
Yeah, I would go in, but see, that's when you can tap in with us on the back end. You know what I mean? And we can share some information to the people that's dealing with interstate jurisdiction issues with child support, unlawful child support.
Unlawful. This one right here.
It's,
You want me to be the poster boy?
yeah.
I gladly accept.
And when I think interstate, the first thing that pops in my mind is U.S. versus Sage, where the Supreme Court ruled that interstate contracts, they're child support, they're no different than student loans. It's a regular contract.
Guys,
It's no
listen.
different. You cannot go to jail for child support. Child support is a debt.
okay.
You cannot go to jail.
Let's say that, and I want y'all to be clear what he's saying. Okay, he said something very important. Michigan making their own laws. They're saying they're the superior law of the land,
Violating
right?
supreme-
Now, understand this. Child support will appear to be the same way. But see, this is where we're going to draw the line, the X's and O's, the separation from men and boys. Because when we get down into the research, we find the laws that supersedes any of these administrative processes. Okay? Once again, it's administrative processes,
That's a
guys.
fact.
Now, of course, they have delivered a marketing strategy to the world for us to buy into that child support is a right. And I'm going to say that again. They have these marketing strategies.
Which is sick, which is disgusting. It's despicable.
Yes.
The fact that somebody would even say anything to me. First off, you don't fucking know me. How about that?
Facts.
And please, by all means, if you're feeling froggish one day and you see me in person and you want to talk some shit, I love settling it because I'm not ducking no fades. I'm here for you. But I'd rather it be peaceful.
Right.
And we keep, so that's why I'm like, stay out of my. You don't even know my story.
Right.
Pay your child support.
Oh, we get
like
that
that's
all
so
the
crazy to
time.
me.
We get that
how
all the
about this? How about
But that's
rich
the
people
reason
don't have
why.
child support? They have fucking trust funds.
Right.
How about that? Why don't you
Right.
elevate and free your mind?
Because it's been taught or programmed to the masses that child support is a right.
And
I'm going to keep saying this.
there is no right to child
There's
support.
no right to child
right.
support.
There's no right.
So how you ever feel about it, that's just how you feel. And doesn't because you have feelings doesn't make your feelings right. Now you can deal with that on your own, but the fact is child support is not a
Now,
right.
let me just ask you all this, because you guys are the professionals, okay? I'm a new recruit on the team, okay?
Okay.
But why don't these judges and these people, why don't they use the same power to say, hey, if you miss 12 PTA meetings this year, you're going to be fined. Hey, how many soccer practices have you made? How many football? How many times have you picked your kid up from school this year? If you have not picked him up 5 times this month, you will be penalized. Because child support is not just money, but once again, going back to what you both said, a very, I mean, it's so sad. It's follow the money.
Follow the money.
Yes,
That's a great way to segue
into, because and the reason to answer your question is because they're incentivized on the back end. They receive incentives to put people on child support, to collect child support. The more that based on their performance, they get a kickback.
Right.
And this is, what is it? 42 USC 652A, incentive payments to states. They get a kickback.
Wow.
Look, like I said, child support is not a right. They have programmed the masses.
I love how you keep saying that too.
To believe.
No, because you really gotta.
Yes,
it's real.
It's real. They programmed us to say, that's why you have the comments to say, pay your child support.
Or if you took care of your kids, you wouldn't be on child support.
Kids, you wouldn't be. See, because they have programmed the masses.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
Like, what do you mean?
Right.
If you took care of your kids, you wouldn't be on child support.
That's what's so crazy to me.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
And then what's even sadder is the fact that no one's talking about the fact that child support actually originated through the welfare system when they put the black man out of the home.
1975.
And the black man couldn't be in the home if she was getting this assistance.
Now, it's called Title 4D.
Title 4D. Title 4A.
AKA child support.
And
Title 4 child support is the marketing strategy for Title 4D.
Wow.
Title 4, like you said, Title 4D started in 1975 because they was given. So in order for you to go to Title 4D, you have to understand Title 4A of the Social Security Act. Title 4A, the Social Security Act, started in 1935 when men were going to war after the Great Depression.
Right.
And if a man left his home going to war, the women couldn't work at that time.
Right.
So they had to come up with these grants.
Right.
To assist needy families.
Right.
But in 1975, they looking at it and saying, hey, where are we giving all this free money out to?
Yep.
We giving it out to a lot of underprivileged areas. So no, we got to come up with an amendment, Title 4D, to go after these non-custodial parents. And that whole program is when, like you said, if the man is in the home, you don't qualify for these benefits.
And so that's when the shaming started to take place. When she would have that money and he wouldn't be there because he couldn't be there.
He couldn't be there.
So your daddy ain't shit. Your daddy. But I'm gonna tell you this: what's cold-blooded is black people gonna find a way. We always make a way. So I can't help but think. I can't help but wonder, and just inquire how many of those couples actually knew the system was doing them and they was doing the system too. I mean, when you see somebody say, baby needs shoes, wife need a new dress, where was that money coming from?
It gets deep.
Baby, baby, let me see that thing. I got it. I can't come in here no way. It's cool.
Yeah.
But it gets deeper because that's a 40-year gap. You know. 35, 45, 75, right?
Yeah.
And who was going to war in 35?
Men.
What ethnicity?
Black men.
Black men? Okay. So when they was giving this money out, they like, we giving it to who? To who?
We need that money back.
Now we need this money back. We come up with this program to Title 4D to get this money back, right? But there's a couple clauses, you know, for the attorneys that don't really study DCSS and don't study child support policies like we do. There, I'll give you, I'll throw you a gem or two so you can help your clients out. This whole thing is about abandonment.
And abandonment, when you talk about abandonment, like I said, that was in 1935 when women couldn't work. We are in 2024. You are still putting people in jail, still suspending people's license for laws and procedures that were put in place in 1935.
Right.
It's all about abandonment.
Exactly. Wait, hold on. So
And you mentioned
abandonment, which I actually, my son was actually, we were abandoned. That if you want to talk abandonment, what his mother did was abandonment.
That's abandonment. It is. If you were here in California and she went to a whole nother state, that's abandonment.
Yeah. And they play these games. It's, you know, we're dealing with musicians. We're dealing with trickery. We're dealing with wordplay. We're dealing with prima facie. We're dealing with things on the surface, and they're not real. But because we assume that they're real, they take real effect.
Oh, absolutely. And you could feel how you could feel it. I mean, they all know it. They know it.
Yeah.
When they're taking that position,
Of course.
They know.
But ignorance of the law is not a legal defense. So as you're coming in here, and then people always ask, well, if it's unlawful, how they're able to get away with it? You said it twice already. Prima facie. Prima facie says that no matter what's filed, the court is taking it on its face as it's true and correct until you provide evidence to say that it's not. No. If you don't, so it's not innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, no,
you are guilty until you prove innocent because this is not a judicial process.
Bam!
In judicial process, yes, you're innocent until proven guilty according to the law.
If anybody see this video, drop a bomb right there. I need y'all to drop a bomb.
In these administrative processes, it's under prima facie. You're actually guilty because that's what they said, that you've abandoned your child in family court and you didn't invoke your parental rights. Therefore, your child is the injured party. You've abandoned your child, and the damages are your child is or will become needy upon government assistance based on the rules and procedures that was put in place in 1935.
No, we've had some very intellectual conversation thus far. This is extremely articulate, and I applaud you brothers once again. But I got to take it real to somewhere else now.
Okay, let's get it.
So the three things that I've learned, I was taught by OG, you don't mess with in this country is the white man's money. You don't mess with his woman. And you don't mess with his broad. The black woman became his broad.
Of course.
When the black man was put out of the house.
Of course. I'm the pappy.
Oh man! Oh man! Man! That's a cold thing. And when now you look at it, we're now dealing with a fatherless child, which has become America's bastard, which is the black man, the new black man.
Right.
That's the OG. The OG was the one who was willing to lay down his life to protect the family until he was put out. And even when he was put out, he was still doing it. He was taking all type of penitentiary chances back then to put food on the table.
True that.
And that's what's so cold to me about a lot of these brothers that's locked down today. You know, I mean, when you really break it down, I was talking to somebody in when I was in jail, and I just started saying, I'm in here for self-defense case, man. I'm defending myself against a crazy broad, man. She wants me dead. She wanted me dead, and I'm defending my life, man. Because I got tired of saying I was in child support because people couldn't believe it. They were like, dude, what?
Right.
Like you, huh?
You're in Supermax because of child support. That's wild. And I'm gonna say this again. It is unlawful. And I want people to understand there's legal and lawful is two different things. What Michigan is doing in Michigan may be legal in Michigan, but it's unlawful. It's unlawful because of prima facie. Until you provide evidence to say that what we're doing is unlawful, is legal in Michigan.
And you know what's crazy? Some parts of Michigan are worse than others. Saginaw is really bad. My case is in Pontiac, Oakland County, and it really was it blew my mind. The jail that I was in Pontiac was actually built. It was a plantation.
Wow.
So they
Interesting.
put this jail
Interesting.
where there was a plantation. So I couldn't help but think about all of the slaves or all of the brothers and sisters who were hanged and now jailed in that same vortex. Pontiac, the Pontiac native. I don't want to disrespect as Native American, Pontiac native. Just thinking about all the land that was taken from them and how everything, everything occurred and unfolded where they were concerned. So much to the fact where they even had a Pontiac Indian, a native with a big nose and a feather, as that represented their cars. That's what represented. I mean, there's still the sign is still on Crenshaw.
Wow.
The Pontiac, because that was a Pontiac dealer.
Wow.
Is on Crenshaw. Anyways, in one of those shopping centers, it's right across the street from the mall. But you could drive it in, you could actually see it. But my point is that I felt this energy there, and I was just thinking about how all these the black family's been separated. And what this has done to the black family. And I'm like, didn't the Underground Railroad run through Michigan right up to Detroit to take you across to Canada for freedom? Isn't that where that went down?
Wow.
And this is what we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, I applaud you for shedding more light on your, unlawful situation, and even, just sitting down with us. I mean, because like I said, it was everywhere, and like for you to come and sit down with us and have this conversation, and I know there's, ongoing things, so there's a lot of things we can't even talk about.
Right.
I applaud you for,
Thank you.
taking
Thank you for having me.
the stands and saying, look, okay, y'all want this?
I was minding my business.
Y'all coming after America's big brother?
I was giving a friend a ride to work.
I'm finna accept it all, and I'm gonna push it right back, and I'm finna shed all the light that you did.
Right.
Hey, what they say, if you fuck around, you gonna find out.
Hey, for real, one of my favorite movies was a movie called Rambo.
Oh yeah.
And Rambo kept telling him, they drew first blood.
They drew first blood.
They drew first blood.
Man,
I want to say this before we get out of here, America. Is that I have to say this. I'm gonna say it again because I think we said it multiple times here. Child support is not a right. It is artificial flavors. So it has the taste of pineapple, but it ain't pineapple. And if you guys understand that, what I just said, you would then seek remedy. You would then find remedy. Now, just because something is lawful just because something is legal doesn't make it lawful.
correct.
Because contracts can be legal, but the contract in itself can be unconscionable. So it can be one-sided, unfair.
That makes it void.
That's what makes it void. But then it's up to you to discover the clause in that artificial flavor and stop using it. So I want to say that to everybody because I kind of feel that at this time and age, information age, that people are standing up like yourself against this artificial flavor.
Well, to add to what you're saying, as an actor, and this is what I was going back when I said a little while ago, I can make $1 million on a project, and then I can make nothing for 3 years.
Right.
And they're still going to keep it because you have the potential to make this.
Because once again, there is this. So if they gave you judicial processes rights, for example, because I know a lot of people like to come at us and our platform about child support and whether it's lawful, whether it's legal. I'm going to tell you this about the child support system is that, once again, we know that it's not what it is to be.
Mm-hmm.
It is superficial. It's not as deep as y'all make it to be. So with that being said, yes, some of the processes can be unlawful, which basically is stopping you from your due process. Because if they allowed you to have due process, they will get beat every single time they go into a courtroom. If they actually allow the judicial process to actually take precedence,
right.
to actually take place,
they want you
but
to
they
waive
don't.
Right.
So they make you waive
Yeah.
your God-given rights. Right? Y'all have to understand, whether you understand you in Caesar's world or you don't. You better at least start to, I don't know, catch up, because this shit is moving fast. And if you get left behind, you're getting left behind.
And can I just say this? I want to say this openly to everybody who sees this. I have no problem taking care of my seed. I have no problem giving my blood, my flesh, my life if I have to. Fuck money.
Right?
All right? Let's just start there. Because a lot of y'all got it fucked up. A lot of y'all chasing the wrong thing. A lot of y'all want to be rich and want to be famous. They don't even know what the fuck it is. I have no problem giving my life to my children.
Right.
But this happening, what we're not going to do is we're not going to use these children and weaponize these children.
Facts.
And create all types of situations within the family to splinter and tear the family apart. That's what we're not going to do. And when your love is overshadowed by your hatred for a co-parent, you need to go and do some serious soul searching.
Facts.
If you hate that co-parent so much that you can't love your child enough to give them what they deserve, which is two parents, you got some issues. This whole thing should be about the best interest of the child and not against feelings, not about feelings and egos. Because that's what a lot of this shit is feelings and egos, and not just egos of the parents.
Now,
You said something. Because you said something.
The best interest of the child, and he keeps saying it is not a right. So I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Blessing versus Freestone, which is a United States Supreme Court case law out of Arizona. 5 women from Arizona, they sued child support because they were going after the non-custodial parents, and they said, hey, well, y'all taking most of the money. Where's our money at? They took child support to court. Child support said, hey, hold up. Got a little bit too much dip on your chip. Hold up.
Hold up,
hey,
swole up.
Hey, that ain't your money. That's our money.
Wow.
And they said, what do you mean that's our money? And he said, well, in this Supreme Court case, child support had to tell on themselves to keep the money. They said child support, it was never intended to benefit the child nor the custodial parent. It was intended to benefit the state. It was intended to benefit the state. And they also went on to say that there's no right to child support. It's called Blessing versus Freestone. This is a monumental child support. That is the backbone of case law and child support. They told on themselves.
And that's why.
They told on themselves. They said child support is not in the best interest of the child.
They had to.
It's in the best interest of the state.
And this is what kills me. Now I got to say this. We doing away with the word nigger. We're doing away with, and I said it, we're doing away with the word nigger. Don't say that word. We're doing away with affirmative action. What is the fear in doing away with looking at your child as a financial plan?
And there's also, and to summarize it and wrap it up, I like to come with evidence and facts, because this is the thing that they seem to understand. And for everyone out there in America, there's a Supreme Court case law called Santowski versus Kramer, which says every natural parent has a fundamental liberty interest in the care, custody, and management over their children. It cannot be you denying a person their parental rights, especially when they're claiming them,
Right.
the liberty interest of care, custody, and management over their children.
Right.
You cannot do that without constitutionally violating their rights to due process.
And that summarized the entire process of child support. They literally deprive you of your rights and take away your due process and expedite their process to get you in the door. And once they got you in the door and their hook on there, it's almost impossible to get out.
Like you said, they get you to waive your rights, and now they saying we got jurisdiction over you, which they never had because child support is voluntary.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know that, but child support is voluntary.
Yes, it is.
This is not my opinion. This is fact.
Right.
45 CFR Code of Federal Regulations 303.5. The word voluntary was used 20 times.
Damn.
20 times.
Oh, we do
I
this.
say they meant
I
it.
just say.
20
I
times.
just want to let America know we do this.
Right.
So
20
I
times.
challenge whoever want to
20
challenge it.
times.
Right.
20 times. And we could take it. We could take it even back before we even get to child support, and we could talk about paternity. Was paternity ever established?
Right. Right.
Was paternity ever established? Because without paternity, you can't even get to child support. Yes, this is my child, but did you follow your own procedures? So when we say child support is fraud, this is what we're talking about. We ain't talking about taking care of our kids.
Nope.
We love our kids. We
Right.
have custody over our kids.
Yep.
Like you said, we gonna give, die,
Right.
and whatever for our children.
Right.
That ain't what this is.
Right.
Did you follow your own procedures?
Right. How about that?
Did you follow your own procedures? And I'm not an attorney, so I kept it real simple. Did you follow your own procedures? Yes or no?
And in addition
Nope.
to that, how in the fuck can you tell me how to care for myself?
You can't. You can't. You can't.
Man,
You can't.
I just like this is some intense shit and it's heavy for me, man. Like I'm still reeling from the last experience, but this has been 15 years I've been dealing with this. I mean, going through lawyer after lawyer, and every lawyer is they're all in collusion anyway.
And here's the thing. We
right.
talked about it just for you and for America and for everybody. We talked about it. Child support is an administrative process. It's not a judicial proceeding. So once a person hires an attorney in a non-judicial process, you are waiving your rights and you're giving them jurisdiction over you because it's not an administrative process. Once you recognize our authority, because child support is voluntary, you went and hired this attorney in a non-judicial process, therefore you waived your rights. That attorney didn't make a special appearance on your behalf. Therefore, your rights are waived, and we now have jurisdiction over you because you consented to participate in our program.
in our game.
Exactly.
And I'll give y'all a gem, America. Consent.
Consent.
Can someone give you consent? And at the same time, can someone take that consent away?
No. It gets deep, man.
Yeah.
We can go
Yes,
on and on,
yes,
and I know
man.
I know you got a whole bunch of things.
We
to
didn't
do,
held them
so-
hostage, man.
Right.
It's all good, man. Hey, man, I
But-
want to come back,
but-
man.
so
I'll
look,
come back and hang out.
I want to ask you one last question. You want to talk about the tour?
Yes.
Yes.
We are doing. We're going to be on tour. It's actually, it's called the Child Support Tour. This is my open therapy comedy session because this shit is really funny. It's funny. Like I have to laugh at this shit, or I would probably shoot up the town square.
Joking. Jokes. And cut.
We're gonna be in Houston. We'll be in St. Louis, Maryland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis. And the great thing about this is it may be jokes on stage, but this is all about educating the people.
Right.
And it's also about bringing the people together.
Right.
Because we really gotta learn to support each other. Some of the comments, you guys, I mean, I know you want to be seen, and some of you You find out you coming on my page, I'm gonna give you what you want till you don't want it no more.
I'm giving you what you
And
want.
I do this. like you said, you might be trying to block me when I'm finished with that ass, depending on which day you catch me. Shit.
Man,
You know, but we really need to come together.
Mhm.
We really need to learn to support each other, and we really need to. We can't talk about nobody's experience if we don't understand the been through.
Mhm. That's a fact.
I'm mad at you because of your breakthrough, but I don't know what your been through was.
Mm.
Mm.
I like that. I like that.
It's crazy, man.
We're going to end it on that. Man, I appreciate you once again. It's an
Yes, sir.
honor to be here in your presence. You are a walking, living legend. Like you said, America's big brother. Man, I'm from the era, so
Man,
just like
thank you.
I'm at times, as I'm sitting here looking at you, and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. I just want to bust out. It's a rare condition. Like it's
This
just
day
in
and
my
age,
right.
That's that. You come to the show. Come to the show. You gonna get all
You're
that.
gonna get all that.
Yes.
Man, the child support tour. Man, I
Yeah.
appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you for having
Man,
me. It's
humble.
an honor to be here
I
with you
appreciate
guys,
it.
man. You
Man.
guys, I appreciate you guys, and whatever I can do,
Man.
we in this together.
Man, and shout out my guy Mike, man. He allowed us to, like
Mike.
Man, he hit me up and said, "Hey, man, I'm in town for 2 days." I said, "Oh, let's make something happen,"
Man.
and we made it happen. And here we are, man. I thank you. And this is the Is Child Support Fraud Show. I hope you found value in the information. And again, everything that you heard here today, it is not legal advice. We are not attorneys. If you're looking for an attorney, you may want to seek legal representation. It's for educational purposes only. And we out. Happy New Year.
Peace.
Peace.